A local alligator made national news after he was removed from his home in Hamburg and brought to Texas. Today, we speak with Albert's owner to find out his story and how Albert came into his life. We'll tell you more up next. I'm here today with Albert the Alligator's owner, Tony Cavallaro. Thank you so much for joining me on the Sweet Buffalo Show today.
It's a pleasure being here with you. Thank you.
No problem. So I'm here today. I want to talk to you and hear about Albert's story and how Albert the Alligator came into your life.
Back in the 80s, I had all kinds of reptiles. I had caimans and I had lizards and snakes and all kinds of stuff. And I went to a reptile show in Ohio. And I came across this alligator, and he had a funny face. He had a funny nose on him, and I thought he was really cool. And I ended up purchasing him for a small fee, and I acquired Albert that way, and that was in Ohio.
And you've had him for 34 years since then.
Yes,
so
I got him in August of 1990. So it would be 34 years this August that I've had Albert.
And so you two are incredibly bonded, I take it.
Oh, absolutely. I raised him with I had a pit bull I rescued, and he was a year older than Albert. He was 9 months old when I got him. He was an abused dog that they were fighting, and he was the sweetest animal you ever want to meet. And Albert and him became buddies, and they grew up together.
That's amazing.
It was really nice. They got along like kids do, like good kids that are getting along, I should say.
And when people think of alligators, they think of scary and mean and things like that in the wild.
It's the same thing with pit bulls. That people have this vision of them, but they're the sweetest animals. The alligators are the same way. If you have them in captivity and you spend time with them, they will tame just like a dog. They have a brain the size of a golf ball, the same as a dog, and they might not show the same affection as a dog does, but they do. It's just different.
And when you would go on vacation, you mentioned your mother would actually watch Albert and read him books? No,
she would read books, and Albert would sit there. He'd be out, and he'd put his head on her feet, and she'd be in her lounge chair because she liked the warmth in the room, and he loved my mom. As soon as he heard her voice, he'd come up out of the water. He won't come up for me all the time because he sees me every day. But if he hears her voice, he comes up, and it's like amazing.
And sadly, you didn't even get a chance to say goodbye to Albert.
No, not at all. They just took me out and would not even let me go in the room. They just ambushed me and kept me confined in one spot and kept moving me from place to place depending on where they were looking through my house. It was awful.
And it's been weeks now, and you haven't seen him. What
10 weeks this past Wednesday.
And what do you think is going through Albert's mind? You know him best.
I know. I could see his face when they showed these videos on TV, and I was emotional. I was breaking down in tears for days about it, and he looked so sad. Reptiles show as much expression as humans do, but people don't see it so much because they're scaly. But Albert's not scaly like a dog, like a bearded dragon. Their faces and all, so you could really see his expression. And he's always He was always smiling. You could look at all the videos. I have hundreds of pictures of him on my social media and in my photos, and he's always smiling or happy. If he gets disgusted, he shows a different look, but now he looks lost, and it's so heartbreaking.
And you said you know his expressions. When you've gone on vacation, you said Albert could give you a look that he wasn't happy that you left him.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
Yeah, he used to get disgusted with me when I'd come back and he wouldn't look at me for a week. And I mean, literally, then I got hurt in 2012. And I was in the hospital for 2 months almost. And when I got home, and he was like in shock. Like I can't imagine what I'm really worried about him now. But when he saw me, he was just like, couldn't believe I was alive. It was like a look of total happiness, and he was just so excited to see me. And now, if I leave on a vacation, he's real happy to see me now. He don't get mad at me no more. But now, who knows what's going through his mind now? I'm really worried about if I go to see him that he's going to hear my voice, and who knows what's going to go through his mind. And then I'm going to have to leave him again. It's going to be heartbreaking.
So your goal right now is you're working really hard. You're not giving up. You want to bring Albert home to you, right?
Absolutely. I'm not giving up at all. We're fighting for him, and I have tons and tons of support. People are amazing. And they're always asking, I'm getting bombarded with questions. When are you going to see him? Do you have any more news? Are you have a court date, et cetera, et cetera? Everybody wants to be there for.
And what does it mean to you to see the community rally for you and want to help you?
It's something like, I never thought I'd ever experience something like this. It's amazing how people really jumped in, and it doesn't matter what sides they're on in other views. They all joined together, and it's bringing people together in a good, sad way. But it's really heartwarming to know all these people are here for me.
And you always had Albert in your future plans, right?
Absolutely. No, I had him. He's in my will to leave him to a place if something happens to me, or if I get to the point where I'm not able to take care of him. I was going to have him brought down to this place in Fort Myers. It's called Calusa Nature and Animal Preserve, and even the DEC knows that. I told them where I want him. At least they could have put him down where I wanted him to go, but they got all bent out of place, and I don't know I don't know what their reasoning is.
If you saw Albert and you could, talk to him, what would you say to him?
I'd just say, hey Albert, I don't know what I'd say. I'll start crying.
You just want to get him home, right?
I want him back where he belongs. I don't know if I'll bring him back to the state even if I win it, because I don't trust the government, that they'll never leave me alone. So I don't know what. I just want to win. I just want to get him back so I can put him where I want him to be, or else I'll move and take him with me.
Absolutely. So
I just want to see my buddy. I know he wants to see me, but I really worry about what's going to happen to him if he sees me and then he don't see me again. It's going to be bad enough for me, but him, I can't imagine.
Oh, even now, you're caring about Albert's feelings instead of your own. You really want to see him, but you don't want to break his heart.
These people are saying he doesn't know how to swim. Oh my God! Anybody that ever sees him, you should see him swim around his pool he's like a lightning bolt. These guys' legs tucked in. They says he can't walk. He was walking the day before. They dropped him in my sidewalk. The neighbors watched them drop him on the sling. I know it's just from hearing from them. They don't have no video of it, but they sedated the poor animal, and then all of a sudden they're coming up with these excuses saying he has spinal problems and stuff. He didn't have no problems as long as he was with me. Just everything about it. He won't eat properly for them because he's distressed. He's lost. You don't even know where he is. You don't know what's going on.
And you put a lot of money into his habitat, right? In the pool and
just everything all together. I fed him for years. It doesn't cost that much to feed him, but over all the years, all that, I built that room. That's over $100,000 room, and a lot of labor. I did all the finishing work myself as much as I could. Wow. And I'm disabled, so it beat the heck out of me, but it was for him. It's not an entertainment. I know there's a bar in there, but I never used it. I built it and never used it. I kind of wish I didn't build it. It was taking up too much space. But everybody loved Albert. And I never let the public come in my house. I only let my friends come in. So they said I let the public in. I didn't let the public in. They were only friends that came in to see Albert, or friends of theirs. And I was always right there, right with them all. And Albert wouldn't hurt nobody anyhow. I know that for a fact. But they're not going to. They're going to say that's not true. Whatever they say, it doesn't mean it's true what they say.
Well, it sounds like Albert is your world, and his world was you.
Absolutely.
And that's all he knows.
It's all he knows. That's it. He's never been in a place like they did to him. It's just awful. I watched the video of them prodding him with some poker and pulling him through stones by his face. And I'm looking at his look on his face. He's just like, what's going on? It's just awful. You don't treat animals like that, no matter what. It's just, and they're trying to force him in the water, and he didn't want to go in. They're trying to force him. Oh, he won't do this. He won't do that. It's because he doesn't. You're scaring him. He's probably scared to death. Who knows what he's thinking. So
right now, what can the community do to continue to support you and Albert? Because I know you're not giving up on him.
Just continue to keep up being there for me and answering anything that's posted, and just keeping this alive until we find out what's going on, until we get to the bottom of this whole thing.
Well, I really hope that you find a resolution to this, and that in the end, Albert is the happiest alligator he can be. And I'm so sorry you're going through all this.
I just hope he can recover from being, he will, because he did with me being gone for 2 months. But this is getting long now, so I'm really worried about him.
I know.
And the people that took him, I don't know where they're coming up with some of the lies they're using. It's really awful. It hurts me really bad to just have people lying about me when they don't know they don't know the truth at all. So they make up stuff. It's just not right.
Well, I thank you for sharing Albert's story with me today, and for being so honest and open and heartfelt and everything. All the interviews you've done, you've been nothing but honest with everyone and answered everyone's questions. And I really hope the best for you and Albert.
I really appreciate it, and I appreciate you having me on and supporting me through all this. It really means the world to me.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much, Kimberly.
Thank you, Tony.
You're welcome.
For more episodes of The Sweet Buffalo Show, visit Sweet Buffalo on all our social platforms for sweet stories worth sharing.